Hey guys, Hans and Baron and Mark here, and we're reviewing this gun, the X5 Legion. We took this gun out. We did run it in rather extreme conditions. It was about 5 degrees out, and all three of us ran multiple mags through it. And I don't think we had any failures to fire at all.
No,
so
great.
My first time shooting this gun was actually at the SIG Academy, and I think the gun is amazing. Right? I'm a striker fired fan, and then when they add the tungsten infused polymer frame to add the weight for stability, I think they got that right. The problem with the original X5s to me was they were a little front heavy because of obviously the longer barrel and slide, and then the polymer lower. But when you add that tungsten weight in there and the flat trigger, to me, I thought the gun ran amazingly well. I had no failures to feed, no failures to fire. It was extremely accurate, and the trigger is crisp, being that it is a striker-fired gun. I think the ergos are good on it. It fits well in the hand. The oversized mag well helps with the tactical guys get a quick mag change in there. And my length of pull and my reach for the mag release and slide release are very easy to operate for me without shifting it in my hand.
Cool.
I thought that the front fiber optic sight tracked very well against just a black rear adjustable target sight. And then I believe you can take that cover off and add a red dot. I'm not in the red dot fan club yet, but I think I'm gaining quickly. So
they call that age.
Probably,
Yes.
probably. I have never trained with shooting at a dot, so I think that I relied on old tried and true, the iron sights, and you'll definitely get different opinions of people out there that think that red dots will be the way of the future, and I can't disagree with that. I just am slow to catch on to that.
Yeah, got it.
So the gun runs smooth. I think the fit and finish of the gun is amazing to me. When you run it a lot and hard, when you have multiple people shooting it, it does get warm. That's something that maybe people don't realize, that the lower frame of the gun gets warm. And I think I'm not a metallurgist, but I think it has to do with the tungsten in there that absorbs the heat and holds on to that longer. We did find that with multiple shooters. So,
really?
Yep. I think that the trigger well is big enough that even with a glove on, this gun would shoot quite well.
Yep.
And so I really enjoyed my first impression with it. I'm going to hand it off to Mark.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I guess I'm going to attack this a little differently. So I'm a gamer primarily, right? So the first time I got my hands on an X5 was in the original package, the 320 X5 polymer frame. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was probably like one of the most amazing moves the company had done for gamers, because you literally had, it was a 3-gunner, right? You had 4 21-round magazines. Yep. You had a good polymer trigger. You had a removable mag well. You had good sights. You just had it all around, like really good, like everything we would do to a Glock 34.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right.
Yep.
And for about, I really all in, maybe like by the time you put 6 1/4 for a Glock 34, you put a $200 trigger in it. You're at 8 1/4. You buy a couple of more magazines. So you got 4 total. You're at let's say 9, something like that. Then I put 4 base pads on all those at $50 a piece. I'm over $1,000, and then here's this gun, and here's this gun that for $800 I think at the time retail, give or take, was really ready to go. You could take the mag wall off and shoot USPSA. Mm-hmm. You could put it back on there, shoot 3-gun. It was a very capable combat pistol. Yeah. Maybe a little large for everyday carry for most people, but it was a nightstand gun, a flashlight pistol. So I've had them, I've owned them, I've used them as my loaner gun for people at 3-gun matches, because it's like, here you go, this is everything you need. Right, and so I thought it was brilliant. So I really, really love that gun. I thought it was an incredibly good design. Yes, it was a little front heavy, unloaded. Yep. As soon as I put a 21-round magazine in it, though, it really managed that. And for the most part, if I've only got 10 rounds left in a mag and I've got 10 yards to cover, I'm plussing up with a new magazine anyway. So I rarely run my mags to empty. So, given all of that, it was like, okay, so now here's the Legion, and first of all, I think it's styling-wise is stunning. It's a great-looking pistol. Mm-hmm. The sight pictures, the ergos, all that's really been kept from the original 320 X5, as far as I can tell. I didn't put them side by side, but my experience was a very similar gun. I do like that with this model now I've got the option of the red dot, making a flexible gun even more flexible if that's something you want to do. Now you can shoot carry optics with this gun as well as USPSA production, 3-gun just about any division including open, and for the most part most 3-gunners these days have moved to a slide ride red dot, so they can get a retention holster. So this, I mean, really, in my mind, this stays right in there. And you've got guys like Daniel Horner out there just destroying everybody with, I'm one of those jerks with a $5,000 pistol, right? They're just getting my ass handed to me by this kid with a plastic gun, right? So then the question for me is weight, right? So there's no question it is a better balanced pistol than it was, I think, in the beginning. So you are paying another $100 roughly for the gun MSRP. You're getting 3 mags instead of 4, so there's some new costs associated with that. But they managed to hold the price down. I mean, I really think this is a win pistol, kind of all the way across the board. My only negative is I actually need to buy another one of these 320X5s for the tactical games, and I'm looking at weight in every way, shape, or form newly, because you got to carry. It's a 15-pound plate carrier plus rifle plus pistol plus magazines, and so I'm out there looking for what I would love to buy is a new X5, the original. I don't really need the balancing characteristics for a handful of like offhand shots at 25 yards or whatever. So I wouldn't buy this personally right now because of that reason. That is, talk about niche, right? I got it. This is a remarkable pistol, and if you were trying to get into games, this is probably, and you don't, you want to spend sub $1,000. One of the things I get into with people talking about competition pistols is there's sort of like the sub $1,000, the $1,800 range, and then there's like last stop to Crazy Town, right? And so if you came in here and you said, Mark, it's 2020, I don't have any guns yet, what pistol should I get for shooting 3-gun? I'm probably going to recommend this right away.
Sure.
If I have a used 320 X5 with 4 magazines, maybe we'll do that. But I mean, you're looking at $900 roughly on street value, and $50 for a magazine. So for $950 of 4 21-round magazines, a pistol you can shoot in just about any game if you're on the fence. It's holding its value. I mean, if you sold this 6 months later by a 2011, you're probably selling it for, maybe you lose $100 on it.
$800.
So holsters are available. I mean, one of the things with these guns, guys, is there's like the Walter has a wonderful steel match pistol. Good luck finding any support for that gun. It's been out for 3 or 4 years now, and we still don't consistently have a holster on the rack for it, right? Where the 320, go to Weber Tactical, go to Red Hill Tactical. If you want a high-end Kydex pistol, one of the things about contrarian guns is no one's supporting them, right? And this one is highly supported. I mean, having SIG behind it is a good thing. So obviously, I'm a fan of this pistol.
Yep.
I'll give it my thumbs up right now. We'll do that again in a second. But I think you'd be well served owning a Legion X5.
So I'm gonna white knight for the Q5 SF real quick.
Yay!
It's only been out for a year.
But the frame has been available in the match gun. The holsters have never come out.
Yeah. The regular Q5 and the Q5 SF they use different holsters.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a miss on my part. So I learned something new today.
But I love that. I love that series. And on that, to the gun and the point of the video.
Yes.
I will echo Mark in. I have the exact same opinions between the original X5 and the X5 Legion. I liked that it came with 4 mags. It was kind of set up like I want to play games with a pistol, but I don't know exactly what I'm doing with games with a pistol yet.
Or take a defensive class.
You can absolutely do that with it. And depending on how crazy dedicated you are, you could, take the mag well off, carry the gun. I know guys that have done that with their X5s. Yeah. It is still also a 320 on the inside, so you have all that modularity that goes along with that for both guns still. For the Legion, I'm underwhelmed with this gun. I am not convinced that weight in the gun is what translates to less recoil. I'm sure it helps. I mean, I know from shooting rifle, a heavier gun is less punishing. At the same time with that, if we're talking like semi-autos or we're talking, now with having stuff that is threaded, I can put a brake on there. I can manipulate other things there. Same with your handgun, which is one thing that I think is a win on this pistol. It uses 1911 recoil springs. So now I can mess around. I can choose my load that I'm going to shoot all the time. Like I shoot 124 grain American Eagle basically exclusively. I can shoot that through this gun, and for like $20, I can buy a spring pack from Wolf or from Springco, and I can sit at the range and I can mess around until I find the right combo that gives me the recoil impulse I'm looking for. But ultimately, that isn't a big enough change or a big enough win for me to, be okay with losing that extra magazine, going to 17-round magazines. The other thing too on this that I've been hearing is the tungsten frame, which this is probably isn't as big a deal to your gamers, but the tungsten frame's more brittle because they've added in that. So if you are looking at it as like one of our local agencies, one of our major agencies, your carries 320s, they're not going to approve the Legion for duty use.
Good point.
Yeah,
no, that's a good talking point.
For other wins, I'm a huge fan of red dots on handguns. I think that irons on handguns will be antiquated by the end of the decade. I think we'll see red dots on handguns like we see red dots on rifles.
Or at least as in the mix,
Yeah, right.
It won't be 10%, it'll be 50,
Yep, exactly. It's not going to be the uber tactical wannabe guy.
There's still
that has
guys
red dots
trying to
on
pay
there.
for cabs in London with shillings, right? So
Right.
I mean, the truth is that they're not iron sights aren't going anywhere. But I got your.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, overall, I'm happy to recommend this gun if you're looking to get into games. For me, it's a thumbs down though.
Got it. So I do want to push back a little bit on this weight conversation.
Yeah, let's.
So, and then we'll go through and we'll officially review the gun. But the weight alone does really nothing for recoil.
No.
And without kind of going all the way to like new philosophies about
Right.
this, right? It's where it is that's important.
Yep, that's
So
good too.
there's like three things we can manage with a pistol to change its characteristics, right? One is the recoil springs, which you mentioned. But for most people, these guns are sprung appropriately.
Yep.
For most people.
Yep.
Weight and where it is on the gun, and then grip. I mean, we can massively change the way the gun performs by squeezing a little harder and relaxing a little bit. I mean, the shooter has a lot to do with it, right? So these guns are designed for 80% of people.
Yep.
It's just like everything else. For those of you who have the clamp grip, or in those of you who are limp wristed, we'll leave
This
it at that.
gun will cycle better.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, it's gonna.
Broader-
we're trying to get that whole
Yep.
range in there, and then the last, the ridiculous clamp and the ridiculous light. They're always going to have to manage something about the gun. They're going to have to move weight around, right? Or they're going to have to change recoil springs. For the rest of us, though, the gun should run pretty flawlessly. And so, really for me, it's like, can I get the weight in the balance and then remove the weight from the part that's going to come back over the back of the gun? Officially, like this piece right here, for me, is like, how light can I get that? And then how much counterbalance can I get down here, right? And then we play with this for the timing, yeah? So when I look at this gun, I'm like, I originally didn't think the weight would make any difference at all. And I think it pretty clearly does on this firearm. I think it really does.
I agree.
Maybe it's brittle. That I didn't know, and that's a problem. But my point being is, adding weight for weight's sake makes no sense.
Right.
That's
Just to make it heavier.
to call it steel just so you can say it's steel is a marketing gimmick.
Yep.
But I really felt like the gun actually performed better, heavier, in this case, than its lighter compatriot, which I have a gun
I
7,000
agree with
rounds on.
I know you have shot the original X5
Yeah.
more than me.
Yeah.
But I've shot them, like, literally fired the original, set it down, picked up
I
the
have
Legion.
not done that.
And
Yep.
I did not notice a difference on the grip topic there too. Though I do death grip the gun. I mean, I am.
You have a fairly aggressive. You're a very, very, very trained pistol shooter. Like watching you shoot. Even I was watching playback of the three of us. Hans and I have our own sort of styles. You are like, if I was going to show somebody how to shoot a pistol, I'd point at your shooting style.
You don't get everything, but
you hold the gun.
You're very deliberate about all your movements.
So
Yep.
maybe, and I don't know. It's possible that you some of that's trained out almost.
Yeah,
like the
absolutely.
weight variation. But I got it. So for me, the gun is a thumbs up. I'd recommend it to anybody. You got a thumbs down from Baron for
Yep.
functioning firearm. Thumbs down, just saying. And Hans,
I'm definitely a thumbs up.
Awesome.
I'm in the exact same boat where the 320 is an amazing gun,
Yeah.
but that counterbalance, like you said very well, it's not just because it's heavier. It comes back to zero faster for me, and I'm a striker fired fan, obviously, as we've kind of discussed here. But that's definitely a thumbs up for me. I think for sub 1,000, when you can play multiple games with it, you can put multiple applications to it, and again, a broader range of shooting styles, and techniques, right? From the very surgical, very mechanical
Correct.
shooter to a little bit more relaxed, and we had no functions at all, no problems at all.
Totally. Awesome. So 2 out of 3 dentists agree. SIG 320 Legion X5.